Hey guys, good morning. Coach Casey here. Today I want to jump in and discuss something that's a huge issue. There's not near enough awareness around it, but it is what age should these puppies be properly socialized? All right. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately. A lot of the misinformation is coming from our veterinarian professionals. I mean, I hate to say it, but they don't know a lot about behavior, and the good vet will even tell you that. And they're following vaccination protocol, and I understand that because that's the way they were trained. But in the end, vaccination protocol tells you to keep a dog indoors until they're properly vaccinated, which is at rabies, they're 16 weeks old, right? 4 months, 16 weeks. Guess what? The prime window for socialization in all dogs, regardless of breed, doesn't matter, is 8 to 13 weeks. So guess what's happening? Right? You've been outside. You see these dogs that are reactive. They're around other dogs. They're not good. They're around other people. They're not good. You know what I mean? They're spinning out of control. Shelters are full. What do you think plays into this? A lot of it is socialization. How do we expect dogs to understand how to act, how to behave, how to, you know what I mean? We can't, we're not even giving them the tools they need. And let me kind of back up and preface that a little bit, So at 8 to 13 weeks, puppies' brains are a sponge. And like I said, I can't stress this enough. It does not matter your breed. So don't sit there and say, oh, my Chihuahua's different. No. Your Chihuahua has the same mind as a Saint Bernard, and it's all the same. And when you're thinking that it's different, that's where you're going wrong. And all these dogs need to be socialized by 13 weeks. You can go up to 16 weeks, which is still, you want to, obviously socialization is an ongoing thing, but you want to do the majority of your socializing with your new puppy by 13 weeks of age. That's when their brain is a sponge. And the way a good term or a good way is, what is socialization? I'm going to share a PDF here with you guys in a minute and then explain deeper what that is. But socialization is basically do everything or expose your new puppy right now to everything it's going to come across as a mature adult, all by the age of 13 weeks. And you're good to go. Right? Now, do you see how that's a problem? When you say, okay, great, Casey, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna expose my puppy to all this stuff, 13 weeks, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna get it checked off. Perfect. And then you go to the vet and they're like, whoa, no, your dog's not gonna be properly vaccinated until 16 weeks. And they're gonna tell you to hold on to that dog. I see it over and over and over. I've run successful puppy preschools for 20 plus years in brick and mortars. And every Saturday morning we had puppy preschool with these age 8 to 13 weeks puppies, and they did fine. There was no illness. Vets have people scared to death, and I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to follow the vaccination protocol, but guys, even when your puppy's vaccinated with the parvo virus, it can still catch parvo. Even if vaccinated with Bordetella, it can still catch kennel cough. So you know what? You do your homework. But what I'm sitting here trying to tell you is that when you take that over proper socialization is when you're doing it wrong, because okay, now your dog's 16 weeks. You're not seeing the effects of lack of socialization yet. But now your dog's got all your vaccinations, and now your vet says, okay, go ahead and take them out and about, expose them. Well, that window's shut 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And so you're going out and you're not, I mean, again, you are socializing them, but you're doing yourself such a disservice by doing that. That's why shelters are full. And that's what I said before. You guys see it. You know what I mean? So you're better off, becoming aware, do some homework. If you don't trust me, dig around. You don't got to take my word for it. Just don't take your doctor's word for it just because they're the doctor. That's all I'm saying. They don't have, training in behavioral, this kind of work. And like I said, a good one will tell you that. Let me share a little document here, guys. You're going to like this. All right. Here we go. Puppy socialization guide. And by the way, what I'm going to do, anyone watching this, if you wait till the end, I'm going to introduce to you my new puppy who is laying right here. Little Legend is laying next to me. He will be 8 weeks old tomorrow. And I'm already socializing. I'm doing everything. You know what I mean? I'm doing all this kind of stuff with him now. I'm not waiting till 16 weeks. But I will show you, I'm going to introduce to him at the end of this video. But what I want you, if you guys are interested in this PDF right here, like I said, it's 3 pages of gold. I'm going to go through it with you briefly. But if you're interested in it, drop the words puppy in the comments below, and I'll be sure you get a copy of it. All right. I'll go over it briefly with you. And then, like I said, it's yours if you want it. And share this, subscribe, notify, hit the notification bell and share this video. So with someone that has a puppy, they're like, look, here's your PDF that you need. And plus, in addition to that, I also have a Dream Puppy bundle that I give away to all new puppy owners. And that's 6 of these PDFs. So let me know if you're interested in that as well, because these things they're, like I said, they're phenomenal reading material. They kind of just build that awareness to get you going. All right, so what is socialization? In simple terms, socialization is the process of safely and positively introducing your puppy to a wide variety of people, animals, sounds, surfaces, and environments. You see how important that is to do it by a certain age? All right, I'm not going to go through all this like in great detail. Like I said, hopefully you drop puppy in the comments and you get your own copy. But it says right here, the most crucial period falling between 8 and 13 weeks. And that, like I said, is vital for you to take your dog out and about. If you're not comfortable putting them on the ground, put them in a harness, put them in something where they're at least outside, expose them to nature. Mother Nature is wonderful. You know what I mean? They can't be behind walls and privacy fences and crates and that kind of stuff. They're not being exposed to what they need to. They're coming out at the later in age. And you've heard of the term COVID puppies? That's a ton of unsocialized dogs because of that time period, and no dogs were socialized. But even without COVID, you still have a ton of COVID dogs or people doing the exact same thing as if COVID was still present. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Socialize these damn dogs, people. Get them out and about. They're animals. They thrive in nature. You know what? They thrive meeting new people, new other energy. That's what this is all about. Proper socialization is key to preventing fear, anxiety, and behavioral issues later in life. And this is what I said earlier. I explained it this way. Your puppy should be exposed to anything and everything they may encounter as a mature adult, all by the time they are 13 weeks old. Doesn't that make it kind of easy? Or at least have like, okay, that's what I need to do. Because I have a checklist here for you too. Much of the common behavioral issues we see today stem back from a lack of proper socialization. And that's what I said. That's why shelters are full. People can't deal with it because they followed their doctor's advice. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I know for a fact that's what they're doing. And then it's too late. And the doctors don't care. I mean, you paid them. They got all their vaccinations are in the dog. They're following protocol. But it's you and your puppy that are the ones that got to deal with it the rest of your life. Rest of the puppy's life, right? And a lot of people can't. So they take them to the pound. They take them to the shelter. And they're unsocialized. You think they're going to get adopted out? No, they might try once or twice, but they all go back in the same fate. And it all starts right here. But it pisses me off, unfortunately. What if your puppy has already missed this window? Do the best you can with the time you have. And that's very important because you can still socialize the heck out of your dog. It's just going to be so much harder to do if you would have just done it in a certain time frame. And that's what I work with a lot of clients on today because of this ongoing problem. Whether your puppy was well socialized or missed out during this stage, the difference will be obvious. In either case, continuing to work on socialization as your dog matures should be an ongoing effort with no end date. And I even posted a little thing in here that even says the primary and most important time for puppy socialization is the first 3 months of age of life. It's 12 weeks. And that even, look, they're basically disproving what the vets are trying to tell you. So I just kind of put that there for you. Don't take my word for it. Do your homework, right? Always use positive reinforcement. That's anything, pretty much. Avoid overwhelming your puppy. Go at their pace. Focus on controlled environments to ensure safety. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to keep them behind closed walls if you're worried because, okay, I get it. You want to wait until they're properly vaccinated if you follow a vaccination protocol. There's a lot of people that don't even follow that anymore because a lot of people are realizing it's not needed. I want to say that real quickly. But if you follow these protocols, you can still get out and socialize your dog. Just use your head a little bit, okay? And here's a checklist for you. Adults, both men and women of all sizes and races. Doesn't mean you got to get out and put your puppy on the ground where they got to walk through other puppy feces, right? But you can take your puppy to neighbors, other, friends that have stable dogs, children, babies, infants. You see what I'm saying? Expose them now. Children of different sizes, ages, activity levels, right? Races. We all know how that is. It's so much easier if you don't have to stress about that because your dog was socialized. If you're like, I'm not sure he is around children, it's probably because he wasn't socialized around children, right? People in uniforms. We all know how the delivery workers, the UPS, military, that could trigger different dogs. People with hats. A lot of times I take my hat off when I go into, doing certain consultations. And if you can, it says right here, if you're able, around the holidays, get these puppies out around Halloween. You know what I mean? People are all dressed up. That's stuff you can't get back. That's my whole point. Animals, stable and friendly dogs of all ages, sizes, shapes, and energy levels. Okay, that means other puppies. That means other senior dogs. That means other high energy dogs. That means other submissive dogs. That means other dominant dogs that might put them in their place. You know what I mean? They can communicate. Let them handle it. As long as they're stable, it's fine. I'm not saying go introduce your new puppy to a dog that's reactive or a dog that's got aggression tendencies. No, keep them away from those dogs. Because can you imagine if your dog's wondering about how to act about a dog and all he's around is other reactive dogs? How do you think your dog's going to end up? Exactly. Other animals, birds, horses, and other farm animals. That's huge, guys. Expose them. Herding dogs, right? You heard me already say, if your dog's going to be a hunting dog, if it's going to be a canine on the streets, they need to hear gunfire. Now, not later. Sounds. That's basically what I'm talking about. Here it is, a gunfire, working canines and hunting dogs. Bang a couple of aluminum dog bowls together. You know what I mean? They're going to startle like that, but then watch how fast they bounce back. Don't startle and then coddle that. You know what I mean? Startle and let them bounce back. That's how they work themselves through that. I use all kind of power tools, all kind of stuff like that, but that's what you want to do. Environments. Look at the different environments. Crowded areas like farmers markets, dog-friendly patios. They clean those every night. You can do, there's so much stuff you can do. What's your lifestyle like? Is it going to be on an ATV? Get them out now. Is it going to be on a boat, paddle boards, kayaks, trucks? What are they going to be into? Are they going to be a hiking dog? Take them hiking now. There's not, you know what I mean? That's what you want to do just so your dog grows up kind of with the same similarities as you, the same interests as you. They're like, because you socialize. Does that make sense? When you don't socialize around any of that, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to get my dog out and about, man, it's just so much harder. Just trust me, guys. Do these things now before 13 weeks. It's like night and day. I promise you. And this is a big one right here. Things with wheels. Anything that turns, get your dog around them. It could be cars. You guys, people have seen the way dogs act around cars, bicycles, wheelchairs, scooters, skateboards, any of that stuff. Wheelchairs is huge. If your dog's going to be a therapy dog, if your dog's going to be, you know what? Expose them now. If your dog's going to be around grandma who may be elderly and in a wheelchair, expose them now. Don't, try to roll up grandma in a wheelchair on the dog when it's a year old and expect them to be just fine. It's probably not. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. This is what proper socialization is. Surfaces. It's all surfaces. If you just socialize them on grass or whatever the majority of what you have where you're at, and they'll be good with that, but then they'll step on something else and you know what I mean? Do it all. And I list them out. Grass, astroturf, gravel, tile, tarps, sand, tarp, all that stuff. Carpet and different tarps that make that plastic noise. We used to use all that in puppy preschool. Slippery floors, linoleum floors, wood, right? Stairs, both open and end. Some stairs you can see through. Make them do both of those. Wobbly tables, those are fantastic. A good breeder should have a wobbly table in those pen as those dogs are maturing. Obstacle courses, agility equipment, that's all confidence building equipment. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Safe socialization tips. Like I said, just keep it positive. I use a ton of treats, go slow. Environmental safety, avoid dog parks. I've said that already, where unstable temperaments or other dog stool is apparent. Not only are these places breeding grounds for viruses, they also host a lot of unstable dogs. And you just don't want to be around it. You know what I mean? I socialize the heck out of my dogs, which I'm going to show you one here. But he's not going to be around these places. No, he's still going to be socialized though. And this is a big one here too, where I'm at. Rattlesnakes this time of year starting to come out, coyotes. And this is stuff that you just got to be aware of. Not so much socialize them around them, but there's rattlesnake training, which is not a bad idea, guys. If you're in these parts of the land where rattlesnakes in the summer, teach your dog to be afraid of them. Monitor body language, look for signs of stress. That just means it's a little too much, and then you don't want to coddle, but you want to maybe back off. And if you're seeing a little bit of too much stress, definitely message me with something like that, because You don't want to, and what like usually when you see signs of stress is when you've missed the socialization period. Let's say you're at 14, 15, 16 weeks or even older, and now you're trying to expose them to, and that's when you're going to see all that stress because that window's closed. They can't handle it the same. Does that make sense? And that's when you're going to see a lot more distress. So try to, like I said, 13 weeks, guys, is going to be huge. Here's a pro tip at the end. This is kind of funny, but I've been saying this for years. You remember the old Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza? Remember those things with the cymbals, all those animals banging, the bands playing? There's all kind of racket in there. You talk about chaos. Sneak your new puppy in there. 8-week-old puppy when they're prime, when their brain's like this, like a sponge. Sneak them into that store, and you're going to get kicked out. Like it says right here, sure you'll get kicked out in 5 minutes. That's why I joke about it. But the experience for the puppy would be totally worth it. And I'm not really saying to go do this, guys, but I'm trying to just open up your mind to what socialization is. You got heavy equipment around? Is someone building, I didn't mean for that to come up. Someone is building, if there's some houses going up across the street in a subdivision, heavy equipment being used, go put your dog on a leash and let him watch it. Come on, dude. That kind of thing. So that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Just think of anything that, hey, I can socialize my dog around this. I'm going to say one thing while I'm grabbing Legend here. Come here, buddy. He was sleeping a little bit, so he might be tired-eyed, but this is Legend. Hi, buddy. He turns 8 weeks old tomorrow. So we're already in our socialization period. And I'm doing everything I can with him. He's already been out and about. I haven't put him down too much, but he wears a vest on my chest like this. He's out. He's watching cars go by. He's watching all kind of stuff now. And the last thing, what I'm going to sign off here, guys, is this is the first puppy I've had in many, many years. And I'm going to share a story I had when I had a Malinois puppy. It's about 20 years ago. In this socialization window, I think he was about 10 weeks old. He was riding in a crate, and I was driving through town, small town. And I remember the band that was practicing for the upcoming summer parade was coming up behind me. Here, let me show you. He's talking. Hey, buddy. Well, it's coming up behind me in my rearview mirror, right? So what would most people do? Pull over and let the band go, right? That's what I did since I had a puppy who needed socialization, or not needed, but can leverage the socialization opportunity. Let's word it that way. Hey, buddy. So I pulled over instead of just sitting there and letting the band go by. I pulled over, got him out of the crate, put him on a leash, and we stood there and watched the band go by. The cymbals, the trombones, the bass drums, the drums, all of it. And my dog absorbed every bit of it, if that makes sense. And that's what you want to do with all these puppies. Say hi, Legend. This is Legend. But he's going to go through this checklist right here, guys. Absolutely. That's what I'm doing right now. So again, what I was saying, if any of you guys would like a copy of this PDF, drop the word puppy in the comments. I'll be sure to give you a free copy of it. I also have 6 more of these PDFs. It's called the Dream Puppy Bundle. If you're interested in that, drop Dream Puppy Bundle in the comments, and I'll get you all 6 of those. And lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a little pin comment below with a link. That link takes you to the website where you can learn about how he's going to be trained, how I train all dogs, thousands of dogs over so many years. All the information is going to be right there, guys. All right. So for now, Legend and I are going to sign off. Say bye, buddy. Legend. All right, guys. Till next time. Have a good one.